Winter is over. Let's talk about what survived and what didn't. This is Shady Bonsai. Okay, everybody, welcome. This video's been a long time coming. I know I haven't been posting much, been hibernating for winter a bit, taking care of the trees. A lot of stuff survived, only a couple things didn't, but we learned from that. So I thought I'd just go through and tell you what has survived. First off, this tree that is now almost as tall as I am. This is pushing close to 6 feet tall here now. The Japanese maple did fantastic. It has already put on, let's see, probably 8 inches of growth already this year. This leafed out very early in the greenhouse, and I've been keeping it happy. Did do a slip potting on this, so it is now in a much bigger grow basket here. So that should, or pond basket. So that should make it real happy. Gonna probably do an air layer on this sometime real soon. We'll put that to the side. What else is on the bench of goodies here? Let's see. There's some weird stuff I didn't even show you guys last year. How about we'll go with this. This is an Amur maple. Not pretty, very, very small. It was a bit of a test. I think, yeah, I got 2 other ones right here. And what the test was to see how hardy these are. I actually ripped these out of the ground with my bare hands. I did not dig these out. These grow like weeds around here. I literally ripped them out of the ground. Whatever roots I got, and threw them into some pots, and they survived just fine. These things are really, really tough. They grow really fast. Can be kind of fun to play around with after they growth up a little bit. Set those to the side. Who's next? All right, little tray here full of maples. These all started to grow in my gutter last year, and I thought, what the heck? Grab them, throw them in a pot, see what happens. At first I thought they were sugar maples. Now that they've leafed out in the spring, these are not sugar maples, they're silver maples. You know, both silver maple and sugar maple, pretty big leaves. Silver are actually faster growers than a sugar maple. Could be kind of fun to see if I can do something with them. I also have an oak tree that a squirrel planted for me by planting an acorn in here. So again, just some little fun stuff. Have around, see what happens. I got another Amur maple here that survived, and another Amur maple, again ripped out of the ground with my bare hands, that survived. This is a ridiculous tree. I don't know if I'm actually going to grow this for bonsai or just for something in my yard. This is a bur oak, ridiculously huge leaves. They get pretty interesting though. When you think about deciduous material, a lot of times we're exhibiting in the winter for winter silhouette. It doesn't matter how big the leaves are. There's some species used in Japan that have very large leaves. So could this be turned into something fun? Possibly. We're gonna find out. I actually have 2 of these. Where's the other one? Right here. All right, so I got these 2 bad boys, plus a little bonus different species, maybe a red oak. So I've got 2 leaves on it so far. Again, an acorn that a squirrel just planted in there last winter or last fall or summer. I'm gonna put these on the ground. What else survived? Let's see. Oh my gosh, more Amur maples. Again, viciously yanked out of the ground. No attempt to preserve the roots whatsoever, and away they grow. They're pretty incredible. Oh look, another bur oak. That's going down here. All right, into some of the more serious stuff here now. Things people might have wanted to know about that you saw last year. This little guy, the little sort of windswept yew, is doing great. Already putting on about 1.5 inches of growth here. It's gonna need some trimming back. I got some ideas of things that need to change on this year. At this point, this is the tree I've had the longest now surviving here. This is one of the first ones that I grabbed when I decided to kind of get back into bonsai. You know, we're in technically year 3, although really, I think it was in the fall maybe. I have to check, but this one has been around for a while. Not gonna be growing real fast in this little pot. That's fine. It's just something fun to play around with. All right, the Cotoneaster. This guy popped out like a month ago. Has beautiful flowers on it already. Getting a little shaggy. Gonna give this a clean up. Put some fresh moss on here. Thinking about bringing this one to the Mother's Day show over at Como. Is it an amazing tree? Nope. But you know, it's fun to show trees off at that show that are in different stages of development. So we're bringing this one. I was hoping it might be flowering for the show, but at this point, I don't think it's going to still have flowers on it by the time we get to Mother's Day. But you know, maybe it'll keep on flowering. We'll see. But it's doing real healthy. This has proven to be a really good Shady Bonsai so far. So maybe I'll pick up another one this year. This one was $7. Yeah. Be sure to check those clearance bins. All right, the Japanese yew, looking really nice and lush here. Look at all the new growth coming out here. I do have some plans for this one this year. So we're going to be doing a video on this. I really struggled with like what to do with this. It has some weird growth habits. It sort of just comes up like a big old spray of foliage. Like, what do I do to make it interesting? There are some little chalk lines on here I made over the winter. One of the things you can do in the winter time is go through and, you know, start making chalk lines on things and thinking about some different possibilities. So this has already been chalked up and it's ready to have some chops made to it. So we'll be doing a video on that. Look at this guy. Yes. All right, the Korean hornbeam is very happy, very healthy. I did trim one little branch off this in the winter that I decided we didn't need. It was, I think, right here. It was a little vertical branch that was sticking up. Totally unnecessary for the design. Looked really weird, but this is already pushing out new growth this year. I got it in a much bigger pond basket I had sitting around. The goal for this one is just to let it run and put on a bunch of girth and get to be a bigger tree. So I'm excited about this one. Seems very happy here in the shade. If I find more of these, I'm gonna try to pick some more of these up this year. What's left? All right, you remember this guy? This is our, I always get it wrong. It's the winterberry. I always want to call it snowberry, get those two confused. This is winterberry, the one that I chopped in the middle of the winter. It flushed out all kinds of new growth. And interestingly though, the little branch that I left, that one died. So I think when I chopped everything else off that little branch, it was like, oh, we're gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna focus everything on the new growth. The growth looks a little, maybe a little sad right now. I think it really wants a little more sun right now. Gonna get it out here in the sun, but seems to be surviving okay for now. This one, oh, yes, all right. We've got our $10 clearance Iroquois Beauty Black Chokeberry. And this one already has flowers that are almost on their way out now. And you can see after those big cuts that we made last year, I think in the fall, and that video was, this has just completely flushed back out with lots of great growth. So what's the genus on here one? Yeah, the Aronia. The Aronia continues to be a strong performer in this next season. So I'm going to continue to experiment with Aronia. I think it's going to be really fun to work with. Will I pick up another one? I don't know. It all depends, right? Depends what kind of deals I can find. So I got that one there. This is the one that I'm most excited about. My initial chokeberry, Aronia, is still alive. It's right over here. This one has also leafed out and is doing great, super happy. Obviously things are starting to get really long, but I'm just letting it have that big flush of growth and be happy in the springtime. So that one is also doing really great, really happy. Other stuff has survived. We have this guy, our, what was this? The hemlock, all right? The Canadian hemlock seems to be doing fine. It's pushing out all kinds of new growth here. These guys don't grow terribly fast. And again, this is like a really cheap one I picked up. This could be a bonsai someday, long in the future. If I really decide that this species is a good choice for here, I'm gonna work on picking up a much bigger, healthier specimen. This is really just to see how does it react to the shade. It's not even a pre-bonsai, it's literally just a tree in a plastic pot, little tiny seedling. Nothing much to talk about, but it's an experiment to see what survives, and so far it's surviving, it's doing well. Also on that note, we have this guy right here. This is our cypress, our Siberian cypress. And yeah, no surprise, it did really great over the winter. So it is going to further develop here. Again, pretty small little plant. You can get much bigger ones. This is really just to see, do these do well in my yard? Do they survive in my yard? And yeah, it's doing just fine. So that's good news. What haven't I talked about? Well, I haven't talked about what didn't do so well, and not everything did amazing. We did lose some things. First up, a bunch of these guys. I picked these up at the auction this year. These are Trident maples, and they're not happy. The buds swelled pretty early on in beginning of March. It looked like they were going to open up along with when the Japanese maple and others did, and then they just they died. They all just dried up and didn't do anything. I'm not sure if that was a watering issue. They are in very small pots. That's how I got them, and I didn't have time to transplant them. In the future, I would probably put them in a larger container with a lot of sand and stuff to sort of have some extra moisture on hand, a little emergency backup, because there wasn't a lot of moisture in here. If we had a especially dry week or something in the greenhouse, they may just have been unhappy. So for some reason, they didn't make it. I kind of thought they would. I would experiment with Trident maple again, but so far, these guys didn't make it. So that was kind of a bummer. I didn't pay too much for them though. This one I thought was gonna make it. This is the Nishiki willow. And these have been sort of finicky. I had one that I lost last summer for different reasons. I was just trying to see how hard I could push it, and I pushed it too hard. This one, there's still some green on the bark, but the bark over here is black. This is clearly just dying. All these leaves on here are from this year. This leafed out a month ago, and then it just sort of died. So not great. Willows can be really finicky, and I've sort of decided that this one is not for me. No more Nishiki willows. They're off the list. They're off the Shady Bonsai list. And a species that should do well, but I think this specimen was really bad, was this here. I didn't even show this to you guys last year, I don't think. Look at this sad thing. This is a azalea, right? My brain's not working today. This is an azalea, and it just over the winter kind of got weaker and weaker until it just kind of died. So again, it was a really cheap plant, picked up end of the year on clearance at the garden center. Again, I think it was like $7 or something like that. In theory, azaleas should work in my yard. I want to work on, getting into some like Kanuma, some better soil, and hopefully it'll be happier. This is just one that, I threw it into this pot from, this is a Brussels pot. Didn't come in this. This is just a garden center plant, and it wasn't real happy, I think, over the summer, and then it just sort of didn't make it through the winter. And that's going to happen. If your plants aren't really happy going into winter, it's going to be harder for them to survive. Speaking of, one more tree to talk about, and one that didn't survive, and I think I gave it kind of a 50-50 chance. It's on the ground over here out of the pot. Let me grab it. Da-da-da-da-da. All right, it's the Eastern Red Cedar. This sucker did not do well. Here's what I was dealing with roots. This is all the roots I was able to collect. Everything must have been further down, way so far underground that there was no way to even collect it. And this was not enough roots to keep it going. Probably all the spraying I was doing, the misting every day, is what kept it going through the summer. And once winter came, it just didn't have the energy to make it through. And once I kind of unpotted it and looked, it really didn't add any roots over the entire summer. So this thing basically was slowly dying all summer long, and then once winter came, it was just toast. It was done. So that happens. I wasn't really expecting the Eastern Red Cedar to make it in this shady of an environment anyways. So I'd say on the whole, the stuff I expected to survive survived, with a couple little exceptions. It was a pretty good winter, and so now it's a matter of starting to think about what's going to happen as things get warmer here. Everything's actually still in the greenhouse. I pulled everything out just to do this video, and I gotta tell you, it's a beautiful day right now, but it was below, not quite below freezing. It was like 40 degrees this morning when I woke up. some of these trees don't want to be out in 40-degree weather and it kind of be shocked like that. So I'm pampering them, I'm keeping them inside. They get pretty much just as much light in the greenhouse as they do out here, but we're at that point now where I do want to be getting things outside. I'm going to look at the forecast. Some of these things may be staying out here now, and this is a great time. The leaves aren't out yet, so this is the most sunshine they're going to get all year. I wanted to put on a lot of healthy growth before I lose all my sunshine, and this becomes, again, mostly shady. That's why it's called Shady Bonsai. Gonna be doing more updates for you guys on all these trees and the progress they make over the course of the year. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe if you want to find out what happens over the course of the year. How do these trees evolve? How do they change? This is, again, a long-term project. These are all just trees to find out what will grow in the shade, what will grow well in my yard. Some of them may develop into fun projects over the years. Some of them will just be discarded and go away, and new trees will come in. That's all part of the fun of doing this hobby. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.